But we basically are going to send them various pieces of very sophisticated military, and they're going to pay us 100% for them. And that's the way we want it. And we've been trying to get that again. I don't think Biden ever asked for it. We're in for about $350 billion. Europe is in for $100 billion. That's a lot of money, 100, but they should be in actually for more than us. So as we send equipment, they're going to reimburse us for that equipment. Doesn't that sound good? That's the way it should have been a long time ago.
Just to follow up, are you still going to send 10 Patriot missiles to Ukraine?
I haven't agreed on the number yet, but they're going to have some because they do need protection. But the European Union is paying for it. We're not paying anything for it, but we will send it. It'll be business for us, and we will send them Patriots, which they desperately need, because Putin really surprised a lot of people. He talks nice, and then he bombs everybody in the evening. So there's a little bit of a problem there, and I don't like it.
This is my video update on this Monday afternoon, July the 14th, coming to you from Muskva. Let's talk about some news. And we are going to start things off with the big story, which is the announcement to come from U.S. President Donald J. Trump. I imagine by the time I upload this video that Trump will have made his big Russia escalation announcement. That is what we are going to be expecting from Trump today. And he gave us a preview of what he will most likely be saying in his big announcement. He was speaking to the media, and he said that he will be selling weapons to NATO. Unlike Biden, who gave weapons to NATO, Trump is very clever. He's very smart, and he is not going to make the same mistakes as Biden. He is going to not give weapons to Ukraine, but he has figured out an amazing, very clever America First plan to sell the weapons to NATO, and then NATO is going to give the weapons to Ukraine. NATO that is fully funded and supported and controlled. A NATO that is 100% controlled by the United States is going to buy weapons from the United States, and they're going to give those weapons to Ukraine. That's the amazing, incredible plan that the Trump administration has thought of, and the reason that they have to do these sneaky schemes, that they have to come up with these sneaky schemes to funnel weapons to Ukraine, to launder weapons to Ukraine via NATO. The reason they have to do this is because if Trump was just going to give the weapons to Project Ukraine, then he would probably face some backlash from America First, from MAGA America First. They would say, "Oh man, Trump, you told us in the campaign that you would not give weapons to Ukraine, and that Biden was stupid for giving weapons to Ukraine, and Biden was $300 billion in the hole from giving weapons to Ukraine, and that was a dumb policy, and you would do things differently." So that is why they had to come up with this elaborate scheme, and they needed a cover for this scheme in order to justify, to explain away the selling the selling of U.S. weapons to U.S.-controlled NATO and then giving them to Ukraine. They had to come up with a cover story, and the cover story is that Trump is very angry at Putin. He's very upset with Putin. Putin is playing him, and he's had enough. He tried to get peace. He tried to be the neutral negotiator. The United States was trying to play the part of neutral negotiator and peacemaker. They even appointed a neutral envoy in Keith Kellogg, a very neutral, very impartial envoy in Keith Kellogg, to try and get Russia to agree to a very fair, extremely fair 30-day ceasefire, a 30-day unconditional ceasefire. But Putin was just not having any of it. And so he was playing Trump, and now Trump is just had enough of being played by Putin. And he's not going to break his promise to America first. Don't worry. He's not just going to give weapons to Ukraine like Bidenopolis. He's going to sell weapons to NATO, who will then give the weapons to Ukraine. America first, baby. America's going to make money off of this. You see how smart Trump is? It's really brilliant. It's really brilliant, and it also highlights his peace through strength policy. Oh man! He also said that he's going to find patriots to send to Ukraine as well. And he also said that that Putin talks really nice. Putin talks a lot, and he talks peace, and he says a lot of good things, but he bombs in the evening. Did Trump say he bombs in the evening? I think he said he talks good or he talks well, but then he bombs in the evening. I forgot the exact words that Trump said. I'll play the video so you guys can listen to everything that Trump said, or maybe I'll make the video, Trump statement, my intro segment. But yeah, that's a peak projection coming from the President of the United States. So this is like a coffee cocoa drink, because they don't have like straight coffee at this place, called Cacao Dom. Cacao Dom. It's pretty cool. They even give you you select the cup. They give you the bean bag so you can sit outside and you're all good. Very, very cool concept. Especially on a really hot day where, man, I'm getting tired of walking around in the heat, in the humidity. I'm not used to the humidity, everybody. In Greece and Cyprus, you usually have a dry heat, and here it's humid. But anyway, enough about that. Definitely recommend this place if you come to the Bauman Park. Then this is where you want to come on a nice day. So what was I saying? Yeah, Trump and his projection. It's Putin that talks and then bombs, not the Trump White House. It wasn't the Trump White House that was negotiating with Iran. They were set to have the 7th round of talks with Iranian officials on a Monday. Even Witkoff was saying that the negotiations were going very well. Everything was very positive. And on Friday, they were going to have the talks on Monday, and on Friday, Trump attacks Iran. But it's Putin that talks and attacks, not Trump. Trump is a straight shooter. He's the victim as well. He's always the victim, right? He's getting played. He's the victim. Poor Trump. He's the victim in all of this. Anyway, completely predictable how Trump was going to play this. I think I actually talked about this in a video update, saying that Trump is going to present this as some sort of a win because the weapons are being bought by NATO and they're not being given away like Biden was doing it. And that was how he was going to sell this to MAGA. And that's exactly what he's doing. Completely freaking predictable. Anyway, NATO CEO Mark Rut is going to be in the United States this week, maybe even today. He's going to be in the United States, and he is going to meet with Trump. He's going to meet with who else? With Rubio, with Hegseth, as well as members of Congress, and they're going to talk about this NATO purchasing, give weapons to Ukraine scheme. NATO CEO Mark Rut. He's going to be meeting with his daddy. He's going to come to the United States to meet with daddy, with Papa Trump. Papa Trump, I'm going to buy the weapons. With the money that you give me, Papa Trump, you give me the money, I buy the weapons from you. The MIC wins because the MIC always wins, and then I'll give those weapons to Project Ukraine. So that's going on. Mark Rut in the United States. So as Trump was saying that he's going to get Patriots to Zelensky, Rubio also said that they're going to get Patriots to Zelensky. And Rubio was saying that Germany's going to give Patriots, and I think he said Saudi Arabia may have some Patriots lying around, or I forgot the other country. He said Germany, and he said another country, Rubio. But he was saying that's just an example of where we can find the Patriots, looking for the Patriots under the sofa cushion. Where are the Patriots? Because the collective West has been completely demilitarized, right? The U.S. makes Patriots, but they don't have any Patriots to spare. And they're going to ask their allies to give up their Patriots to send them to Project Ukraine. I think Rubio said Spain. That's what he said. I think he said Spain or Portugal. They have Patriots, and Germany has Patriots. And they're going to try to lean on these countries to give up their Patriots to Ukraine. But the reply from Germany is no. So far, the reply from Germany is no. But I'm sure if the United States really, really pressured Germany, Germany would have to give up the Patriots to Ukraine. But according to the Kiev Post, we only have 6 left. Germany opts out of Patriot package to Kiev. So that's Germany's response to giving up their Patriots to the Zelensky regime for now. The U.S. can pressure them to give up their Patriots, and I imagine that's what they're going to do, at least to give up one or two. You have 6, give up 1 or 2, and maybe in 2-3 years we'll manufacture another Patriot to send your way, Germany. If that's the order that they give Germany, Germany's going to have to execute on that order. That's what being a vassal is all about. So Graham, Lindsey Graham, boy, is he happy. I'm telling you. I have not seen Lindsey Graham this happy since fill in the blank. Fill in the blank in the comments down below. Last time I did it, the responses were epic, man. Oh my God, the comments were amazing. I have not seen Lindsey Graham this happy since. Oh man, the last time I saw Lindsey Graham this happy, he was fill in the blanks. Anyway, Lindsey Graham is happy, man. He's getting wars everywhere. The more wars, the happier Lindsey Graham is. And he's finally, he's getting his Iran war. He's got that going. He's got Gaza. He's got a war possibly with China. And now it looks like he's getting his escalation with his big time escalation with Ukraine. So Lindsey Graham he's smiling, man. He is smiling. He was on the media channels, the Sunday talk shows, and Lindsey Graham was talking about a sledgehammer coming Russia's way. Trump is going to hit Russia with a sledgehammer, according to Lindsey Graham, the foreign policy president of the United States. Lindsey Graham, Trump's golfing buddy, his golfing buddy, Lindsey Graham, who Trump said, what did Trump say? He's always there when I need him. Happy birthday, Lindsey Graham. You're always there when I need you. Instead of listening to Vance and Witkoff and Gabbard, I'm not going to listen to them. I'm going to listen to Lindsey Graham and Chief Kellogg. Bad. Nothing to say there. Anyway, Lindsey Graham said that Putin is playing Trump, and Trump is very upset. Trump the victim. Trump has been played by Putin, Lindsey Graham said, and Trump is having no more of it. Lindsey Graham talked about 500% sanctions. He actually said that the sanctions are going to target Putin's war machine, but they're going to target China. And he's talking about China. He's talking about India. He's talking about Brazil. BRICS. Lindsey Graham is talking about BRICS, right? He wants to hit Russia, but more than that, he wants to go after BRICS. So he said that. He said that we should expect record weapons deliveries to Ukraine. I'll play the video of Lindsey Graham in a second. What else did the foreign policy president say? An increase of weapons aid for Ukraine, fresh tariffs and sanctions, and tougher European backing. Graham added that Putin misread Trump's talks, saying the fighting has ramped up. You just watch in the coming days and weeks. There's going to be a massive effort to get Putin to the table, right? That's the narrative.
The game regarding Putin's invasion of Russia is about to change. I expect in the coming days you will see weapons flowing at a record level to help Ukraine defend themselves. I expect in the coming days that there will be tariffs and sanctions available to President Trump he's never had before. I expect in the coming days more support from Europe regarding their efforts to help Ukraine. Putin made a miscalculation here. For 6 months, President Trump tried to entice Putin to the table. The attacks have gone up, not down. One of the biggest miscalculations Putin has made is to play Trump. And you just watch. In the coming days and weeks, there's going to be a massive effort to get Putin to the table. And to those who are helping him, China buying cheap Russian oil and having no accountability, those days are about over.
That's the narrative for the brain dead of the world. is that Trump tried to get Putin to the table. He tried, but Putin played him, man, and Trump is sick of it. Yep. Trump tried. He offered the Kellogg deal, everybody. He offered an amazing Kellogg peace plan. I'm still stunned. To this day, I'm still shocked that Putin did not jump at the Kellogg peace plan. I mean, Putin had his peace plan. It's been out for over a year and a month. Very transparent. His peace plan, he announced it. He spelled it out. It's been published. It's been documented. He talked about it in multiple speeches. His entire government have talked about his peace terms. They've been out for a year plus. Root causes Istanbul plus, June 2024. Putin has had his peace plan out there for over a year. But, forget about that. No, we don't ever want to talk about Russia's terms. We don't want to talk about Russia's terms. Forget about Russia's terms. Let's talk about the Kellogg ceasefire plan that Trump graciously offered to Russia. The Kellogg ceasefire plan, and Russia just threw it in Trump's face. Take it. I don't want your plan. I don't want your ceasefire plan. Ungrateful Putin. The ceasefire plan, the unconditional ceasefire plan. Has there ever been a military in all of history that is winning a war and then decided to agree, as they're winning the war, decided to agree to an unconditional ceasefire and allow the opponent to continue to receive weapons during that ceasefire? Has there ever been a military in all of history that has agreed to those types of terms as they're winning the war? Like winning the war big time. Yeah, the bottom line is Trump. He didn't listen to Vance, didn't listen to Witkoff. He went all in on Kellogg and on Lindsey Graham. He went all in, and he thought he was going to be the smart guy, the clever guy who was going to trick Putin into accepting Minsk III, Kellogg's ceasefire plan. Russia was not falling for it, and now he's upset. That's what's going on. Period. That is what's going on. It's that simple. Trump is upset that he couldn't fool Putin into Minsk III, and that he made the bonehead decision to go all in with Keith Kellogg and Lindsey Graham, right? That's exactly what is going on here. Let's see. Lindsey Graham said, Dick and I, he's speaking about Richard Blumenthal, Dick and I, this is what Lindsey Graham is saying, Dick and I have got 85 co-sponsors in the United States Senate for congressional sanctions with a sledgehammer available to President Trump to go after Putin's economy and all those countries who prop up the Putin war machine, Graham said. The legislation would authorize Trump to impose up to 500% tariffs on nations that continue trading with Russia. Graham singled out China, India, and Brazil. He stressed that Trump would have maximum flexibility in enforcing the measures. Even if Trump does not impose the 500% tariffs, just the fact that Congress is passing this thing and they're giving Trump this authority is going to create all kinds of instability and uncertainty in the markets. Even if he doesn't implement these sanctions, this is going to be bad for the markets. What a dumb move from Graham. What a dumb move for Trump to go along with Graham. What a bunch of stupid decisions. Anyway, Axios is reporting that Trump is going to give offensive weapons to Ukraine. This is what they're reporting. We'll see today what Trump announces. I could be wrong about all of this. Maybe Trump's going to announce that he's going to agree to Istanbul Plus, right? You never lose hope. Anyway, Axios, which is very well informed as to what the Trump White House is thinking. They are saying offensive weapons. They're saying long-range missiles that can hit Moscow. Go on to X and go on to Brian Berletic's X account. I didn't bookmark the post. Maybe I have it saved. But Brian talks about the possible offensive weapons that Trump is going to send. Let me see if I bookmarked it. I don't think I did. But if you go, I think it's his latest post from Brian at the New Atlas. 1 second. Yes, I did. I did bookmark it. So he has a link to the Axios article. Two sources told Axios they had reason to believe the plan was likely to include long-range missiles that could reach targets deep inside of Russian territory, including Moscow. However, neither was aware of any final decision. There are only a few weapons the U.S. could transfer to Ukraine that fit this description. The JASSM-ER, I guess that's the JSOM, ER, air-launched cruise missile is one of them. Preparations were likely being made since under Biden, meaning they're ready and simply need to be announced by Trump. If JSIMs aren't announced this Monday, they and other missiles like Germany's Taurus are almost certainly going to be sent eventually. Yeah, we've been talking about the Taurus. The announcement from that German general, or I don't know what his rank was, who said that Germany is going to be delivering long-range missiles, but these are part of a joint venture between Germany and Ukraine. Not Taurus missiles. These are different missiles that Ukraine and Germany manufactured together, but not Taurus missiles. In a couple of weeks, Ukraine and Germany were able to manufacture hundreds of long-range missiles that they're going to be sent to Ukraine by the end of July, but they're not Taurus missiles. That's what he wanted us to know. We'll call them something else. And Ukraine manufactured them with the help of Germany, right? Right. Just believe that. Anyway, long-range missiles to hit Russia. That's basically what Axios is reporting. And Zelensky, he called a meeting of his script writers and his producers. And Zelensky posted on X that Ukraine is going to be planning long-range missile strikes into Russia. Our units will continue to destroy the occupiers and do everything possible to bring the war onto Russian territory. We are preparing our long-range strikes. So Keith Kellogg is going to be in Kiev. Actually, he arrived in Kiev. He got off of the train. The United States called Putin. This is how everything goes down, everybody. The United States, the U.S. State Department, calls up the Russian Foreign Ministry. They call up the Kremlin. They say Keith Kellogg and other people and other things, other officials carrying other stuff. Who knows what they bring with them? Anyway, they're all going to be on this train traveling to Kiev. Is that all right? And the Kremlin says, yeah, no problem. And they get on the train, all of these officials, along with Kellogg, and they travel to Kiev. That's how all of this goes down. And Keith Kellogg got off the train, and greeting him, Keith Kellogg was wearing the Zelensky outfit. He was wearing the Green Goblin outfit. And he was greeted by Yermak, who was wearing a suit. Yermak is now suiting it up all the time. Keith Kellogg was wearing Green Goblin attire. And they hugged. They hugged. And Yermak, who looks like he's a pretty big guy, Keith Kellogg, who looks like he's a small guy, Yermak absorbed Kellogg. I mean, he just completely absorbed him in his hug. And Kellogg was loving it. Kellogg, you could see that Kellogg felt very, very safe and secure in Yermak's embrace. Oh, it's so good to be in your arms again, Andre. Oh my God. Anyway, so when Western officials travel to Kiev, and Kellogg's going to be in Kiev for a week. When Western officials travel to Kiev, something is cooking, man. They're cooking up something. And you have Zelensky talking about long-range missile strikes. You have Axios talking about long-range missile deliveries to hit Moscow. You have Trump talking about playing the victim, poor Trump, playing the victim and talking about how Putin played him, and he's very angry with Putin. And then you have Lindsey Graham talking about a sledgehammer hitting Russia, and Trump is very upset with Putin, and Putin made a mistake by trying to play Trump. And you have Kellogg in Kiev for a week, and something tells me that they're cooking up something. I don't know what. And you have the whole Epstein thing going on, so they need a distraction. They need a distraction from Epstein. Everyone is talking about long-range missile strikes. Everyone, Zelensky, Graham, Trump, Axios. There's all this talk about long-range missiles and being upset with Putin and hitting Russia. And you have Kellogg in Kiev. So I'm thinking that Trump in the U.S. They're cooking up something, man. Something that can distract from Epstein. Something that can give Trump a quick little victory, where he can go to the American people, and as everyone is now distracted from Epstein, he can say, "You see what I did? I hit at Russia. I organized this incredible operation. Our military with the Ukraine military. I don't know what they're cooking up." And we created the second greatest military operation in all of history, because the greatest military operation in all of history was when the U.S. Bombers hit the side of a mountain in Iran. That was the greatest military operation in all of history. But this is going to be the second greatest operation in all of history, and Trump is going to say peace through strength, and he gets to stick it to Putin. Something is cooking there. I don't know. I'm probably exaggerating things a touch. But all the signs point to some sort of operation that's brewing, some sort of sneaky. It's always sneaky, some sort of sneaky operation that they're cooking up. Anyway, I wonder if Russia understands this, or if they still believe that Trump is a great guy. Trump is we have a lot of respect for Trump, and they're our partners. They are our partners, right? I wonder if the Kremlin is still in that mindset of they are our partners. You also have Pistorius, the defense minister in D.C. as well. So he's also in D.C. Yeah, something is cooking, man. Anyway, let's do some other news. How am I doing on time? Yeah, I should wrap this video up. We'll find out later this afternoon what's going on. Like I said, maybe Trump is going to get in front of the American people and say, you know what, I'm completely out of Project Ukraine, and I'm going to order our puppet, Zelensky, because that's what he is, our puppet, to sign the Istanbul Plus terms, because that is the absolute best deal for Ukraine, for the people of Ukraine, for the United States. It's the absolute best deal for the United States. And then we're going to do business with Russia, and we're going to work to bring down inflation and bring down energy costs and bring some stability and trust to the world and to the financial markets. Maybe he's going to announce that. Or he's just going to go scorched earth. I think he's going to go scorched earth. So Mertz was asked about the Trump tariffs, BlackRock Mertz. And Mertz said that the Trump tariffs on the EU, the 30% Trump tariffs, are going to cripple Germany. That's what he said. But he's going to try really hard to talk some sense into Trump and to try to work out a deal. That's what Mertz said. Germany's going to do whatever the United States tells it to. Mertz, stop with this make-believe pretend that you're some sort of a sovereign leader of a sovereign country. I mean, come on. If the United States says 30% tariffs, it's going to be 30% tariffs. If the United States says 10% tariffs, it'll be 10% tariffs. If the United States tells Germany 1,000,000% tariffs, it's going to be 1,000,000% tariffs. But Mertz, he's trying to play it as if he's got some agency. Okay, whatever, bro. Whatever. What else? The European Union today they're going to announce, at least is what Reuters is reporting, they're going to announce the 18th sanctions package. That's right. That will be official today, if you go by Reuters' report. And they are going to work to bring the Russian price of oil, the price cap, down to $45 from $65. Remember the 65? Well, was it 65 or 60? I think it was 60. Anyway, about a year and a half ago, the plan was $60 price cap on Russian oil, and that worked out really, really well. That was a huge success. That was not a success, but because the 60 price cap worked so well, they're now saying $45. Yep, the 18th sanctions package. This is going to be the one that finally works, right? Right. Anyway, that's going to be announced today. Oh, let's do some clown worlds, and we'll wrap this video up. So, as Lindsey Graham was speaking, I believe this was to CBS News, and talking about the sledgehammer that's going to hit Russia, and poor Trump, the victim, getting played by Putin, and Trump's not going to be played anymore. Lindsey Graham, he messed up as he was reading his script, and he said that Putin is invading Russia. Did you guys catch that? Lindsey Graham said Putin is invading Russia.
But the game regarding Putin's invasion of Russia is about to change.
So that was interesting from Trump's best buddy, Lindsey Graham, my golfing buddy, who's always there for me. What else? Boris Johnson was partying in Italy. I think this is in Capri. That's right, Boris Johnson, March 2022, sabotages an amazing deal for Ukraine so that the conflict, the SMO, a month into the SMO, would have ended, and it would have left Ukraine in a much better position than it is today, and in a much, 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 much better position than it finds itself in today. But Boris Johnson flew in to Kiev and he sabotaged that deal. This led to hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of people, of soldiers dying. But Boris did his job, and 2-3 years later, he is now in Capri and he is partying it up, right? Living his best life, Boris Johnson. Job well done. Sabotaging peace, causing death and destruction. Now here's some champagne in Italy. I don't know, maybe Maloney is somewhere hanging out as well, ready to party it up with Bojo. Who knows? Disgusting, man. I've been very sarcastic in this video today, but what can you do? The news is horrible. Anyway, if you don't laugh, you cry. Daily Mail Epstein, they are saying that, they are reporting that Ghislaine Maxwell is ready to speak to Congress. She is ready to reveal the truth. But Republicans, according to the Daily Mail, are blocking her. Why are Republicans blocking her? The Daily Mail asks. Disclosed.tv says Ghislaine Maxwell is willing to speak in front of the U.S. Congress about the Epstein files. And Elon Musk says she will say she has nothing, of course. The consequences of revealing anything would be negative for her. Yeah, I think Ghislaine's getting off, man. I think she is going to be getting off. I don't know. She probably already is off. I don't know. She's probably somewhere. She's probably not even in prison. Who knows, man? This is a conspiracy theory take on Ghislaine Maxwell, but who knows what's going on? Is she in prison, or is she being kept out of the media so she doesn't talk? Or is she being protected by certain intel agencies? I don't know. But can you imagine Ghislaine speaking to Congress? Well, what is she going to say to Congress? There is no Epstein list, right? That's what she's going to tell Congress if she were ever to speak to Congress. List? What list? There is no Epstein list, as Pam Bondi, Bongino, and Kash Patel and the United States president have said. And Congress, members of Congress, because there is no Epstein list, there is no client list. I ask you here today, why am I in prison? That's what she should tell. That's what she would tell Congress, right? That's what I would tell them. If someone in Congress asked me, if they gave me the opportunity to speak in front of Congress, if I was Ghislaine Maxwell, thank God I'm not, but if I was Ghislaine Maxwell and they called me into Congress and they said, well, what do you have to say about the client list? I would say, what client list? I agree with everything that Pam Bondi and the FBI and the U.S. president said. I'm in full agreement. So I ask you, why am I locked up? I don't know. Maybe it's good that she's locked up. Maybe that's her protection. I don't know what's going on with that. But anyway, that's what the Daily Mail is reporting. That's the clown world. That's the video. theduran.locals.com. We are on Rumble, Odyssey, BitChute, Telegram, Rockfin, and X. Go to the Duran shop, pick up some merch, like what I'm wearing in this video update. There is a link in the description box. There's a link in the description box down below. Take care.